Hi everyone, I'm Meredith Abbott, Culinary Director for Sur La Table, and welcome to On the Table. Today I am making a flavor-packed sheet pan recipe for crispy chicken thighs with sweet potatoes and broccolini. First step of the recipe is to make the marinade. So to a medium bowl, I'm going to add olive oil, lemon juice, salt, pepper, some freshly minced rosemary, garlic, and some red chili flake. Give this a whisk to combine and to dissolve all of the salt. This marinade is super versatile. I love it on chicken, like we're doing today. It's also great on pork, other vegetables. I would even maybe use this as a vinaigrette on a salad with a little bit more lemon juice added to it. Okay. Half of this is going to go onto my chicken thighs. Just pour it right over top. And I'm going to save the other half for my vegetables. Give this a toss to coat. All right, I'm going to set this aside to marinate while I prepare my vegetables. All right, it's time to prep the rest of the meal. I have a rimmed baking sheet with a silicone baking mat on top. For sheet pan meals, I either like to use a silicone baking mat or parchment paper because it makes cleanup a snap. So next thing is I'm going to prepare my sweet potatoes. I personally like to leave the skin on, but if you don't like that, you can peel them. I'm going to trim off the edges like so, just because they get to be a little tough. And then I want to focus on having these be uniform sizes, but also something I'm able to eat in about 2 bite sizes. So I'm looking for like wedges. So I cut them into manageable sizes and then again into like spears or wedges, like so, and into a large bowl. When building sheet pans or sheet pan meals, just always try to make your ingredients uniform in size so that they roast at the same time. If you don't like sweet potatoes or yams, you could substitute in fingerling potatoes, or whatever kind of potatoes you like, but it is nice to have a starch as part of your meal. But I love the color of this garnet yam. A lot of people these days use sweet potatoes and yams interchangeably, but this is in fact a garnet yam. I'm going to now add a red onion. I'm gonna trim off this end and the root end, cut it in half. And now because I've cut my yams into wedge shape, I'm going to do the same with my onions. So from these halves, just gonna cut them into wedges. Now, because these will take a little bit longer to roast than my broccolini, I'm going to toss them first with the marinade and get them onto the sheet pan. Give this a little stir, toss this, give it a nice coat, and now I'm going to pour this onto my sheet pan. Taking my clean hands, I'm going to arrange the potatoes and the onions into an even layer so there's some space because I'm going to add the chicken on here too. There we go. All right. Just nestle that chicken in and around the potatoes and the onions. These are all going to cook at about the same rate, so that's why you can put them on the sheet pan at the same time. Make some little pockets in here. Chicken thighs are great for sheet pan meals because they stay nice and moist when roasted. Okay, if you have any excess marinade left in your bowl, just go ahead and pour it over top. And now this goes into your preheated oven. While my chicken, potatoes, and onions are roasting, I can prep my broccolini. I have 1 pound or one of those nice big bunches of broccolini, and this is pretty simple to handle. I'm just going to trim off the little woody ends If they're really long, just to make them a little easier to eat, sometimes I like to cut them in half on a nice, I do a bias cut, it makes it look a little nicer. And I'm using the same bowl that I tossed the yams or the sweet potatoes and the onions in to get any of that remaining marinade onto the broccolini. Saves with dishes too. This sheet pan meal and method can so easily be substituted with any vegetables that you like. I would love this with cauliflower, with regular broccoli, with zucchini. It's really so easy to customize. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. My chicken and veggies are just about done. So I'm gonna grab them from the oven and add my broccolini to the sheet pan with them. All right, here's my roasted chicken and vegetables. Now I'm just going to scatter the broccolini around the sheet pan. And now, this is going to go back into the oven just until that broccolini is crisp tender. Ooh-hoo. Not only does it smell amazing, it is beautiful to look at too. I'm gonna give myself a chicken thigh and some vegetables, of course. Take a little taste. A little chicken, a little bit of potato. The chicken is so tender, so juicy. That potato has so much flavor. And there you have it. Crispy, juicy chicken thighs with perfectly roasted vegetables, all done in one pan, so you can spend more time enjoying it than cleaning up.